We'll interrupt our usual coverage now for some breaking news. 3 people taken hostage by Hamas in Gaza are being released as part of an initial 6-week ceasefire agreed on by Israel and Hamas. We'll now take you to our counterpart in the UK for more coverage on this latest release.
The chaotic scenes were shocking and horrific, were the words that was used from his office. And remember, the previous handover had also angered him because Abba Yehud had not been included in that. And in fact, Benjamin Netanyahu then called for the closure of effectively the border, the Northern corridor, which cuts off North and South Gaza. So it as a reprisal, until he got a guarantee that Abba Yehud would be handed over in that added-in exchange on Thursday, he had stopped the movement of people from South to North Gaza. And then this, 2 days ago, the absolutely chaotic scenes when Abba Yehud was handed over, along with Gadi Moses in Khan Yunis. So this one, and on both occasions, he would say that he reacted and forced change. First, by closing the Northern corridor, he would say that he then pushed Hamas into having to hand over Abba Yehud earlier. And then, in the chaotic scenes that surrounded her handover, he said that he had spoken to mediators. He delayed the release of the Palestinian prisoners until he got assurances from mediators that those scenes would not be repeated again. So remember, we haven't seen the handover of Keith Siegel yet. So let's wait until we see that before we draw any conclusions. But certainly, on the face of it, the handover of these first 2 prisoners has been markedly different. It has felt more like to be honest, a formal, what you would expect between countries, is a formal handover of prisoners with actually very little ceremony beyond Hamas insignia, and there hasn't been any of the shouting and screaming or the toting of guns. Crowds have been kept away. What we're seeing there is in southern Israel a convoy of vehicles that are heading towards, I assume towards the helicopter pad in range. So that will be, I assume in those vehicles will be the 2 hostages. So that would suggest that both those hostages have now left Gaza and have entered Israeli territory. They will have had rudimentary medical checks, and then they will be heading towards the helipad, where at some point they will be airlifted out of Raymond and brought back to Tel Aviv. So in that case, certainly, Anna, that process, and it's starting earlier than it has done before, in that case, that would appear to be, on the face of it, possibly the smoothest of all the prisoner releases that have happened so far. So just to wrap up where we are, the IDF and the Israeli government has confirmed that it has released 2 of the prisoners have been handed over. We've seen the celebrations of the family of one of them, Ofer Kalderon, who you can see on your screen there. We're waiting, though, for the release of Keith Siegel, who was not with the other 2. They were released in Khan Yunis. He is up in Gaza City. We've seen the stage set up for him. Yarden, Bibas, Ofer Kalderon have been released, and we are awaiting the release of Keith Siegel.
Indeed. Adam, thanks very much indeed. We're going to keep a close eye on that scene in Gaza City, where, as you say, we expect to see the release of the US-Israeli citizen Keith Siegel shortly, we're told. We don't have an actual time on it, but we're going to keep a close eye and come back to...
We'll leave that coverage there for the moment. We were in Khan Yunis seeing 2 hostages that were released back to the IDF. We'll keep across that situation as it develops right through the evening.